100% Chelsea. Burnley 1, Chelsea 1. Pretty decent result, I thought. But you know what, Harry, give me your thoughts on the game, mate.
Result, I guess, is there. 10 points clear for the meantime. Obviously, Man City play Bournemouth tomorrow, as of today when this is recorded. And long trip just for a 1-1 draw. And performance-wise, I just think we weren't quite up to it. We weren't 100%. But credit to Burnley as well for managing to shut us down nicely. I mean, as Joey Barton just come out on Twitter and said, Burnley, they speak highly of us. We're top of the league now, 10 points clear. And fair play for them. Like, you have some teams that defend from the off. You have other teams that accept defeat. I mean, Burnley played decent, and at the end of the day, we tried too many fancy stuff that didn't come off. And I think some of our players didn't work as hard as you normally want them to. Like, I thought there were times where Costa wasn't working hard enough. And I think Michy needs more minutes to prove himself. He always comes on in 80-something, if not 90-something.
What did you think of him when he came on today? Because he didn't really have enough time to make an impact, but he seemed to want it a lot more, and he seemed a lot better than Diego Costa, in my opinion.
Yeah, he was much more determined. Yeah, definitely much more determined. And also, what I found was Costa's going a bit back to 18 months ago when he had that habit of drifting out to the left. I just never understood what that was all about. But I mean, the only solid game really today, apart from a few misplaced passes, was Kante. I mean, he never does have a bad game, does he? And he came up against a physical side, and he came up against figures like Joey Barton that are always going to be aggressive. And I know he's been around the Premier League for a good 2 years now, but you just still can't get over how someone of his size manages to win the ball so easily. I thought he was okay. I mean, Eden had a few confident moments, but couldn't really get the best of it. But I thought first 10 minutes we were ourselves. The other 80, I just think, just wasn't there. Just wasn't there. But at the end of the day, a 10-point lead. I mean, we shouldn't be complaining here, really, should we, about that? But 12 points would have been nicer, because I think that would have completely shut off any competition. 12. I can't remember anyone chucking away a 12-point lead. Obviously, Newcastle had that 11-point lead back in, was it 95?
97, I think.
But other than that, I mean, it's unheard of, really. So that would have wrapped it up, against a team that were hoping to stay up this season. But I think they'll be much better than that. I can see them coming 12th, 13th this season. They've had a great season, and I just find it incredible how they've made Turf Moor such a fortress, if I'm honest. They've had, 1 point away from home, yet they've broken the home record for a newly promoted team at home. I think they've got 30 points there now, something, or 29 points. And, I think our best achievement today was keeping Andre Gray out of the picture.
Yeah.
I mean, David with his new awful hair, but he kept him in his pocket, which was okay. And I think, like most clubs in Burnley's situation, they looked to take advantage of a set piece, and they did just that. Robbie Brady on his home debut, and I have to say, fair play. It was a nice set piece. Simple. You had the teams like Stoke who traditionally live off them, but there's many players, score free kicks. Many players. It's not. It's almost like 50-50 really, especially from that sort of range, just the edge of the area. But what annoyed me was the way Robbie Brady slid over to us. He was like almost eye contact with me. I was 2 rows back. But, we've got quite a few games left, 14, 13 games left. What match week are we on now? Like 26, is it? What match week are we on now?
Craig, what match week are we on now?
20 what?
25.
Yeah.
Match week 25.
So we've 13 more games to play, and at a 10-point lead, I can't see us slipping up. So I thought, ticked off a ground from a supporter's point of view.
Yeah.
And we've got Wolves to change our focus to the Cup, and we can give Batshuayi more playing time and rotate our squad, and then just make sure we're fresh for Swansea. And Swansea have just beaten Leicester. And yeah, I mean, again, there's not going to be many easy games from now, even though we've got most of our big games out of the way, apart from United, which is the last one that awaits, and City at home. I mean, yeah, it's all ours to lose, really. Just need to keep going as we're going. We've got 2 big games, and that's it.
What's your take, obviously, because you're saying, switching focus to Wolves? A few people have said it, and not just in today's fan cams, but in previous ones as well. Exactly. Be honest. I mean, for me, I think it's a dream, but I don't think it's. You think it's achievable?
Definitely achievable, but what I don't want is for us to say we have Man United, where we're planning to secure the title, as we were talking about earlier, or Man City, for example. You don't want to be putting a full-strength team out against a low league opposition when you've got just 3 or 4 days later you've got a crucial league game. I mean, yeah, 10 points clear. It's not normal to throw it away. But anything can happen in the Premier League, best league in the world, and I'd like to see Terry on his last year get a double. I mean, we've been singing his song for years, since the 2010 double, and it would just be nice for him. He's had his injuries this year. It's great seeing him in the away end today, and just to be able to sing it for his last season would be quite nice. And on the parade in May, and yeah,
If we get the parade.
if we get the parade, we might not. But part of me also thinks, if we're moving to Wembley soon, coming earlier doesn't make a difference.
Yeah.
But 2 trophies make up for the tragedy of last season, coming 10th. Yeah, it should be fine. Should be all right, and Wolves should be okay. I can't see it being a history-making fixture, but they do have some good players to look out for, like those 2 from Benfica they brought in.
Yeah.
And if any team's got this far, you can't have the mentality thinking, oh, this is easy. You have to go in. I mean, they say the cliche of the FA Cup, anything can happen. But if a team's got to the 6th round, you just have to respect them. Like Sutton United, for example, hosting Arsenal on the same day.
Aren't you worried? Aren't you worried with Wolves that it's a potential giant killing? Because they've done it with Liverpool, and they are a pretty solid side. Like you said, the 2 guy from Benfica, the Helder Postiga, I think he's called. Is it Helder Postiga? Helder Costa. Sorry, Helder Costa. Helder Postiga is a really old striker. Jesus. Helder Costa was he was linked with Liverpool, and it's quite scary. And he's going there, Molineux as well. It could be quite a dangerous game. And after that, you're saying you don't want complacency to set in. Have you got any worries that after today's result, where we were quite complacent, we weren't finishing in the final third, that it could potentially carry through into Molineux?
Based on today, I'd shuffle up the final third, maybe give Willian a start, but I think just keep the same defence, don't change. I mean, they say don't change, we drew today obviously, but if you just think since the 3-4-3 switch we made in October, we've leaked in hardly anything. I just think defensively we should treat it as a league game. Then attacking, we can play Loftus-Cheek, we can put Chalobah in midfield, let Match have a rest for the Swansea game. But defensively, I won't make any changes. Obviously, Begovic isn't any different, but we just need to make sure that Cahill, Azpilicueta and Luiz are in that starting 3 at the back.